New things on the bike, have you noticed? Double take mirrors on the GS. We've been on a couple of weeks now, seem fine. I mean, they are what they are, aren't they? They're just, well, the mirrors, aren't they? Going on to the Autobahn. Now, of course, Germany famous for its motorways. You know, for the ability to go any speed you want. And here we are on a traffic jam. Now, an interesting fact for those who don't know, what's happening here in front of me is called a Rettungsgasse. So you noticed all the vehicles on the right are pulling over to the right, and all the vehicles on the left are pulling over to the left. This allows emergency services to go right up the middle. So as you can see, we're quite disciplined at the moment, and it is actually illegal for you not to do this. I think you get quite a hefty fine for it. How long does this go on for, we asked. I mean, you can't say this is not fun, can you? Right, we should be able to make a bit of progress now. So it's 83 k's to the point on the tech that I want to join. Well, we got off the Autobahn on a very quiet country area, you can see. But this is a great little back road this has taken me on for quite a few kilometres now, so I thought I'd whack the camera on. I haven't seen any other cars in ages. The GPS is set on fastest route but no restrictions, so obviously it's taking me down some roads it wouldn't normally bother taking me down, because I've allowed it to take me onto tracks, etc. So I think that's what it's doing. I haven't got curvy routes on, I haven't got anything like that. So we're on the Trans-Euro Trail now in Germany. I can imagine this is quite wet at the moment, and my tyres are definitely not up to task. But I can imagine when this is dry, I reckon it'll be worse because it's all soft sand. It's a little more compacted because of the rain, I think. So I've got to turn right up here, I think. But at the moment, I mean, I've got my Gore-Tex Outlast lining on, which is cooking me alive. It works really well, but anything above 20 degrees, forget it. That's an impressive garden, isn't it? It won't last much longer. I hope that I'm going to get a dry time until at least I get to the campsite. I think it's about to be shattered, that dream. So still on the Trans-Euro Trail. This is the Trans-Euro Trail part 1. These very small agricultural almost lanes in the country, but very nice, very quiet, very damp here, you can almost see it. We're getting a little bit off-road now. Oh no, it's cobbly, so very slippy. Steady as you go, especially when you've got pretty much, for want of a better word, they're adventure wannabe tyres on this, but let's be honest, they're like 80/20s, so they're just pretending to be a bit off-roadish, but of course they're not. Let's get out of these puddles. Actually, I quite like the puddles. Back in them, not on a slope there. Keep it in second. But again, not particularly difficult. I mean, I'm on a GS, like I say, with pretty much road tyres on at the moment, and I'm fully loaded. My off-road skills are pretty much zero. Just take it steady. It's good fun. It's probably quite a good tech to learn on, actually. I know there's quite a few in Europe sort of aren't particularly that difficult, and it does say on the information on this tech you can quite easily handle it with a bigger bike. providing you got the decent tyres on. So that's probably the only point I'm lacking on at the moment. The village of Lindsvega, very pretty. Won't upset the locals, so we're nice and steady through it. That's very nice, isn't it? Probably like a war memorial for the First World War, I think. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's childish. Don't do it. I did it. So I've just pulled in here. Look at that. Nice little place to chill out and have a sandwich. The rain is finally here. I think I might, it's 3:45, 4:45. I think I'm probably going to abandon the tent now. Head towards the campsite. It's probably just over an hour away. I'm going to have to stock up on a few more provisions. Just booked in, it's down here. I wasn't sure exactly where it was. Down and in here. Round the corner. That, I think. Right, so this is Home Sweet Home in the corner. Is this a miserable existence or what? So, sit rep, I'm now in the tent, I'm nice and dry. It's just easing off to rain a little bit now, so should be getting a little bit better, hopefully. But I've just looked on the weather app and there is going to be a storm later on. When that comes, we'll find out. I'll let you know. Should be a laugh. In the meantime, good health. So obviously another thing I've got to do now, excuse the rain in the background, is start obviously charging up the stuff I'm going to need the next day. So I use my little brick here, charge that up as I'm riding, and then in the evening recharge everything that, such as this GoPro comm system for music or whatever. So the last thing we want is a tent disaster, do we? Here's my Cetus Summit water bladder. I've done a video on this. So it holds 4 litres, and obviously normally I'd hang this up on my motorbike and use it like a tap, but I'm not going out there. Now you probably think I'm taking the piss a bit, just having a pot noodle, don't you? You know, adventure motorcycling, I should be steak and chips, fried egg. But what you're forgetting is that I'm lazy. Leave that for 2 minutes. If you're not sure how to cook one of these, it's written on the side. Whilst I'm all packed up again, ready to go, all I've got to do now is get out of the campsite. It's a bit slippy down here. So lessons learned then from that little adventure. It's all about testing kit. The tent, 100% waterproof, no issues there, and it did pretty much rain all through the night. I'm using this Rucker suit which has got a Gore-Tex liner. I've found in the past that gets quite annoying when it rains, because obviously the outer shell gets soaked but you're dry inside. So I brought a cheap set of waterproofs, and obviously as the weather was very much on and off yesterday, so I was in and out, jacket on, jacket off, and it was less than ideal. So I think next time, waterproofs yes, but what I will do is use one of my 6 litre Krieger bags. I use them just for waterproofs. It just makes it a lot easier getting in and out. Normally I would take a tarp with me to form a shelter, an admin area basically, so I can, even if it is raining, sit outside in the rain. But obviously that's the tarp, the poles, and I just, yeah, I mean, it would have made my life more comfortable last night, but that's a lot of kit to take with when there's just one of you. I think it's great when there's two of you and you want to have a little chin wag in the evenings, but when there's just one of you, I don't think it's necessary. So I'm in an area whether I will take that on my big tour or not with me, because obviously it takes up as much space as a tent. But on the flip side, if my tent has a catastrophic failure, I've still got a tarp I can sleep under. So I'm not sure on that. Effectively 14 hours I was living in my tent, and I only zipped out now and again because it was constantly raining. So it can be done. So that's I suppose a worst case scenario, where I've arrived at the campsite, I've put my tent up and it's rained the whole night, morning and evening, and I've had to live in my tent. Well, it worked in essence. Not as comfortable. I would still take my chair though for the evenings where I could sit outside the tent, but that Hubba Hubba, the NX, of it having two vestibules each side, was really good. So you probably saw, I don't know if I showed you or not, but one side was all my motorcycling equipment and the other I used for cooking, and that's pretty much it. So I'm going home now. It was very wet, wasn't it? I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for staying till the bitter end, and I'll catch you next time. Stay safe and keep riding. Bye bye.